everyone. This is our second session in this wonderful seminar. Yesterday we had the opportunity to have Professor Abdias Luque, who is quite knowledgeable in the subject, and he shared at least the fundamentals yesterday so that we could get our feet wet and get the work that is coming up done. Anyways, I just wanted to give you a couple of reminders. One of them is, of course, the mic. Whenever, make sure that it's muted. You can unmute it whenever you have a question. I believe the way Professor Luque has been managing the questions is he opens it up so that everybody asks questions at certain times during his presentation. So you can take the opportunity to do that. And also make sure that if you are unable to ask the question on the session, you can always use the chat box to do that. Another quick reminder is that to keep up with the assignments. Let us know if you have run into any type of difficulties so that you can comply with all the requirements of the seminar. Professor Marisol, do you have any comments to make before we open the session?
Well, just exactly for the ones that have not been able to access the classroom, we only have 49 registered, and we have a little bit more than 60 people participating. So if you have any issue, please let us know to see if we can solve the problem today, because you have to do the assignments. The assignments are obligatory. There is no way out. So God bless you and have a good day. Enjoy the seminar.
Okay. Well, without any further ado, I believe I need to see Professor Luque so that we can get started with the session. Hello, welcome back. Well, the crowd is all yours, so please enlighten us. Enjoy the ride, everybody. See you later.
Well, everyone, good morning. I hope everyone is having a good morning. Hopefully I didn't have I didn't give any headache to anyone yesterday. I know it's lots of things to process, but I believe that we can all grasp what was necessary to manage and use AI tools. Well, I would like to start from by reviewing some of the frameworks. I think yesterday probably it was too fast the way I was explaining. So I would like to go over very quick to some of the frameworks and also have a section where if you have any question regarding the frameworks or the homework itself, please let me know by opening your mic, sorry, and on the chat section. Okay. So let me share the screen. Okay. Thing is from here. Yeah. So let's recap the prompt frameworks, because I think it's really important to get this clear in order to accomplish the tasks that are coming. So first, as I was mentioning yesterday, we were talking about that whenever you have to interact with any AI chatbot or any AI device, it is very important to know how to write that input, how to offer a comprehensive instruction so the AI can understand better and provide the correct information or an expected output, I would say. Okay, so I also mentioned that the one framework that I consider works for 85% of the times is RTF, which is role definition, task creation, and format. So basically, what you end up doing is to assign the role, then provide the task, and here is where you have to spend time thinking and typing what, providing all the details you can. So we have better outcomes when it comes to the responses. And finally, we have the format, which is the way we want that information that we requested to be presented, right? Then we have some other frameworks that are situational, depending on the type of task that you want to work on. We have RISE, which is role specification, input description, step requests, and expectation settings, right? Then we have care, context provision, action description, result clarification, and example giving. Tag, which is task definition, action planning, and goal setting. So you might notice that for some of the frameworks, it is not necessary to provide a role, because probably frameworks like care, tag, and BAB already, there is a previous conversation where probably I already assigned the role, so it's not necessary to mention it unless let's say I'm having trouble with the chatbot that is not really providing the information that I needed. So you have to remind it that, okay, remember that you are an ESL EFL teacher, and you have to focus on literature, phonetics, grammar, and so on. Okay. Also, we were working individually on each of the frameworks, right? So as I mentioned, RTF is the one that we will be using for most of the cases today. But then we have some others like care. I'll give you an example of how it should look like, because it's I don't know if everyone had the opportunity to complete the assignment, yesterday's assignment. I saw some of you and homework, and it was really good. So I'm very happy that it was clear enough to complete the assignment. And don't hesitate to ask me any question regarding the frameworks, regarding the assignment. Please, I'm open to help you. Well, so as I mentioned yesterday, the examples that I had here are very short examples. So, but of course, whenever you have to interact with the chatbot, you can in you can provide more information, more details, more background, so you have a good outcome. Okay, so here we have an example, like context. We are introducing storytelling to develop vocabulary. So this is like providing a background of what your class is about or will be about. I could say something like, my students are learning how to say, how to introduce themselves in English, right? So that could be the context. So the chatbot knows what's the whole context in the classroom, so it will give better responses of what you're looking for. So for the assistance is very similar to the to the um to the task, basically. So here again, it's really important. I would like to point this out, that it is really important to provide everything, every single detail, because every single detail matters. So the age of the students, the level of if they're elementary school, middle school, high school, university level, even their proficiency level, because probably you have students that are university level, or they have a low proficiency in English. So it is really important to provide those details, so it will the content that will be provided will be suitable and well adapted to whatever usage you want to take with this output. Okay, so here in results, basically you are stating how you want that information to be displayed. Very similar to format, but the difference here with the E that stands for example is that you will provide, I would say, a prototype of how you would like to have this information. So that's why this is a little bit different from RTF. Okay, so here. Okay, have you checked any assignments? Um, I saw some of them, but I haven't graded anything. So because I'm waiting for the others to join, or if probably you did the homework but wasn't sure if that was the right way, you can go over and redo it if you have to. Okay. Okay, so the same goes with rice. Here, again, you have to provide the role, the instructions, style, and evaluation. So here is a clear example, right? So you're a friendly ESL assistant, assigning the role, very important. The instructions, like the task, basically, and style is for this these kinds of specific usage that you would like to have in this specific instruction or task or information that you want to get it from, right? So for example, here we have use informal conversational language suitable for intermediate students. So I think this one is the the one that it's a little bit complex when it comes to creating this prompt, because it has the role, right, which is here is stands for C character, then request, basically your task, examples, you have to model the kind of response or outcome output, sorry, that you would like to get. Adjustments, this applies in case you already have a previous conversation. So if there was something that you need to provide feedback, for example, let's say that you ask 20 vocabulary words related to business, but then it gave you 15, or the ones that it gave you were too easy. Since you have, I don't know, like students that are B1, B2, and probably the vocabulary words are below that level. So there won't be any challenge for your students. So that's why it is important that when you are providing the task, you need to to mention these small details, because these small details, like saying the proficiency level of your students, will affect some of the output. Right? For example, since you didn't mention the um, the proficiency level of your students, it will give you any type of difficulty for the vocabulary words. So it is really important to be as detailed as possible. Okay. And here you have like type of output, basically format, and extra. So if there is a specific thing that you would like to add from the whole prompt and the previous conversation that you had. So as you see, this one is a little bit more complex, but probably that's a framework that you will use after several tries on the same tab or on the same conversation. Okay. I think we already covered this yesterday. Okay. So yeah, I know it's early in the morning. So let's activate that brain by having a breakout rooms. So what are we going to do in that breakout room? Okay, so what we are going to work on is to work in small groups and create three prompts for ESL tasks, right? So one speaking prompt, what does that mean? So create an activity or something that you could do in your classroom that that will be focused on speaking skill, like speaking practice, or something that will develop this skill. Then one grammar exercise prompt and one writing activity prompt. Okay. Is that clear? When is the due date? Yeah, it's on Sunday. Okay, so I just want to know if if you know what you have to do in the breakout rooms. You can do the thumbs up. You can say yes, 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 yes on, on chat. You can directly open your mic and tell me. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so what we have to do is that we're going to breakout rooms, and with your group you will work on 3 different prompts. So one will be for speaking purpose, right? So you will create, you will use one of these prompts. You can use the RTF role, task, and format, and create an activity or something related to teaching, speaking, yeah, teaching, speaking, or an activity that will develop speaking skills, but you have to create it based on the framework, okay? Then one grammar exercise. Again, you use the framework you would like to use, but it has to be something that you can use in your classroom. And then one writing activity. So one speaking activity, one grammar exercise, and one writing activity. But yep. Yeah, it will be in groups. Okay, so I will, where is it? Give me 1 second. I will create the breakout rooms.
Sorry, can you share again the assignment just to take a picture?
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, take a picture of the instructions. But I think I can share my screen, and you can see this slide while you're working in groups. So no worries about it. Okay, so I will open the rooms. You will be automatically assigned to one of these rooms randomly. Okay, so if you have any question, you can go back and ask me. Well, I will be visiting all the rooms. Okay, see you.
No, porque yo me escuché de allá porque yo pensé que la profesora estaba allá.
Mhm. Okay, now let me go here.
the meaning of each letter. So when I asked ChatGPT about that, it provide me another information, like R is for read, stands for read, T for thin, and F for fill. It is totally different from the PDF document you shared. So then I asked again, and I was specific to tell him that what is the meaning for each letter in order to get the correct information. But I didn't was specific, so I didn't know. So it was good.
Yeah, when it comes to the frameworks, this is something that is not like something that is hard established out there. These frameworks are were created by all users like us that are trying to figure out the best way to interact with AI. However, if you ask, in this case, you don't have to mention what framework you're using when interacting with any chat. Is you the one that knows how to structure your input, your information. So so you know that following this specific framework, you will have the best outcome. Okay. But it's not necessary to mention during the process of creating your input. You don't need to mention what framework you're using, because that's for you. That's not for the chatbot to know. It's not necessary to mention.
So what do you mean? That I need to create my own prompt in order to get the information that I'm requesting?
No. What I mean is that if you're typing like using, let's say you're using RTF, right? You're using RTF, role, task, and format. Then during that process of creating your prompt, you don't need to mention that, okay, as an expert in linguistics, and we are going to be using the RTF. Well, at least that's from what I understood. That you were mentioning, that you were putting RTF in the chatbot and it didn't understand. Well, it's because you don't have to mention it when typing the prompt, basically.
Can I say something? What I understand is that it is like a letter. I mean, like a letter frame. It tells you title, then address, then the salutation, and then the body. But you're not going to write in your letter, you're not going to write the word title. You're not going to write address. You're going to go directly into the information that you want to use. You say, Dr. whatever, University of Panama, dear Dr. whatever, and then whatever you want to say. But you're not going to put title, etc., etc., etc. That's what I understood.
No, I'm not
Professor Luque.
talking about a letter, a formal letter. I was talking that when I'm asked ChatGPT about an RTF prompt, right? Because that was you asked to do. Yes, Professor? That we need to select one of the prompt. Yes or no? So I
Yes.
asked ChatGPT to get a prompt, an RTF prompt based on the writing skill.
I guess that's the problem, Professor Nunez. I don't know if you allow me. You
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
were not told to ask ChatGPT for the prompt. You were going to create the prompt to give ChatGPT to do certain tasks. Any task on speaking, on listening, on grammar. Because I know Professor Nunez's point, because I have attended a seminar that they asked us to ask ChatGPT for prompts. And I attended last Saturday one that they tell us that we can ask ChatGPT for a prompt to do this or that. And then ChatGPT give us that prompt. And I think that's what Professor Nunez did. she asked ChatGPT for the prompt, the RTF prompt, but the assignment was we had to create the prompt for a certain activity that we decided. I think that's that.
Yeah, I think that's the confusing part. Okay, remember that prompt is one thing. Prompt is what you write when you have to, whatever you are
It's the
requesting.
request. It's the
But
request.
yeah, but then the prompt framework is the
It's the guidance.
structure.
It's
Yeah,
guidance.
is the guidance of how you should write that prompt. So if
Mhm.
you ask any chatbot like work on this prompt framework, it won't do it. It will get confused because it's like if you're asking your brain, okay, um, how, how do you move your body? You do it because you know you're able to do it. But
Unconsciously.
yeah, you cannot ask yourself how you move your body because it's something that happens. So the thing with it is good to ask. It is good to ask for prompts. So let's say you ask for prompts when you don't know how to write a prompt. This is the thing. So for example, well, I would like to know how to request or how to write a prompt for lesson planning, how to create a lesson plan, because I don't know the frameworks, the thing that I've been teaching yesterday and today, because I don't know the frameworks. I don't know what's the right structure, the right way to request something on a chatbot. So once you have a certain knowledge about the um the prompt frameworks, the RTF, the tag and BAP and all of those, you don't need to ask for prompts because you know now how to develop your own prompt. So remember, one thing is the prompt, what you type, but the framework, all the things that I've been, let me share here the screen. So everything that I've been providing here, these are frameworks. So this is a guidance of how you can write your own prompt. So you don't have to ask the chatbot to create a prompt for you to then create a lesson plan. So this is what I'm trying to get, that because if you ask, it's not bad if you ask for prompts. Sometimes I have to ask for prompts, but for something more I would say more technical, which is for coding and using Python, probably I will request for certain prompts or certain suggestions, right? But if you don't know that in a prompt you need the role, you need the task, you need the format, you need these steps to have a good prompt, then you don't know if the chatbot is giving you a good or a bad prompt because you're not able to um, evaluate whether or not it is good or bad prompt. So yes, Belgica, go ahead.
Yes, good morning. I was confused also about that because, for instance, we took a seminar. They say, well, wait, use ChatGPT, etc. But what I did was to type the prompt directly on ChatGPT. So this is the first time that I hear about frameworks. So that's what I was confused about the homework, the task, because I wasn't sure where to find the frameworks. And then I was like crazy chatting to ChatGPT, please give me frameworks. But now listening to you that we don't have to do that. So where do I find the frameworks? This was my question. Another concern that I have is the task is individually, or we have to do pair work or teamwork.
Yeah,
En
it was
claro.
teamwork. It was teamwork. But
Okay.
okay, the frameworks are here. The frameworks were provided in the yesterday's homework, just for you to have to visualize all the frameworks for you to work on your assignments.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't need to find any framework on the ChatGPT or whatever I
No,
use it. Ah,
no.
okay. Thank
Because
you.
I think what's confusing for some of you that maybe took another seminar, probably in another seminar, they were requesting you to create, to ask ChatGPT for prompts. No, here you are learning prompt engineering. And as the word engineering says, is create, right? So
Okay,
you are the one that has the ability to create your own prompt without asking ChatGPT or any AI tool to 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 create a prompt from you for you, because that will I don't want to say that it won't give you bad results, but the problem is it tends to get like really ambiguous, because it will give you whatever prompt, not necessarily what you're looking for, and that's where you start like saying and making comments. It happens to me. It had happened to me and to everyone. Well, I'm here for an hour, for 1 hour fighting with ChatGPT because it's not giving me what I want. It's not giving you what you want
okay.
because you're not following a framework. But the framework is not something that you have like, ChatGPT, let's work on RTF. So it will be like, what does that mean? But you understand what is RTF, because you have to assign a role, you have to assign a task, and you have to assign the format, right? You have to assign these three things. Everything has to be included in your in your um in your input, in your prompt, basically. Yes, Belkis.
Okay.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank
Well,
you.
uh-huh. Right. I think that there's been a confusion in regards of the task. Yesterday, we received all the theoretical information, all the input that you give, but there was certainly misconceptions about what we have, the care, the tag, RISA, all of those are teaching, well, in this case, language teaching strategies. And we are not going to find, we don't have to look for the definition of it in a chat, a GPT or us. And that's what we have. The other thing is to understand what a prompt is. A prompt is a request, how we are going to formulate the request, the instruction, that's what we want, so that it can provide us feedback on how to do it. Now, as you mentioned, and you suggested us to start with this strategy, the RTF, which is I think a very simple one, and then as a group, and that's something that we can practice with our own students. As a group, you will give them using, they will decide on what the role, what the task, or the format, or we as an instructor can decide on the task and the format, and then they are allowed to decide what the role they will like to work. But if we go to the chat or the Ask I chat box, and we write RTF to understand what is it, because we couldn't get it, then it would give us a completely different interpretation or definition. In this case, reach a text instruction, something like that. And it is also for teaching purposes, but it's a completely different thing. So we have to understand that these are just strategies that we can apply, different ones, because they're I like them because they're very innovative, okay? But this is a way to organize our work. Then how to request what type of information depends on the topic we select, and then ask for, but writing it in a specific way, giving information that will help the
artificial intelligence to provide us a very, let's say, an outcome that we will desire, or desirable outcome, we have to write, and that's called a prompt, a very specific instruction. What is it that we want to ask in order to receive the answers that it will provide, with options, suggestions, and a lot of information. So that, in the last thing that that would be my suggestion, and hopefully it will be not misinterpreted, is to provide an example. That yesterday we revised all the theoretical aspect, but it would have been very good to have one example of a prompt and how you worked it before the assignment, so that everybody will then be on the same track. And that's it, Professor. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. So yeah, we will work on that on the live demonstrations. So and yeah, again, you were guys working on the breakout rooms. However, keep whatever you come up with and create it, keep it there, because I think we will, instead of presenting, because I don't want to spend too much time on it, because there are several things that we have to do today. Let's see what day 2 offers. If you have to refine your work, then you can do it later, and then upload it on Classroom. I will try that everything that we have to upload on Classroom can be done during these 4 hours, okay? Or at least part of the work will be done here. But it's really important that if I ask you a question, if you understand, if you hesitate of what I just explained, please let me know, because if you don't tell me, I will assume that you know. So it is important to have this constant feedback of everything. I'm open to all of that, so there is no problem with that. Thank you, Belkis. Okay, so let's move on. Well, with everything that is related to frameworks, it's really important to keep this in mind, because this is the way we're gonna be working on for probably the rest of the week. So it is I know it's not easy, because when it comes to AI and AI interaction, this is not a matter of, I mean, it is good to have to gain some knowledge about frameworks, about AI, about how it works, but this is just the 50% of the work. The other 50 is you trying to do it. So if you don't try to do it, if you don't learn by mistake, because let me tell you something, like, even though I know everything, probably many things regarding AI and how to manage and interact with chatbots, there are still situations where, you know, the chatbot gets lazy, or is not giving me what I want. So it happens, even though you might have knowledge about AI, about frameworks, about all of this. So it's really important that once you have these situations, you have to figure out, like, what's the best way of communication with the AI in order to get the right output you want. Okay. So yeah, very good, very good. Let me see what my time is. Okay, perfect. So for today, we are going to be on module 2, AI integration models in well, I don't think it's this one. It is? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. AI integration models, and also I didn't mention here, we're going to be covering certain I would say certain tools that you can use for your classrooms. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I have to look for a glass of water. So give me just 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. Well, so for today, we are going to be covering a lot. Hopefully we have the right amount of time to cover everything, because I was like, maybe I should take some things out, but I end up thinking that everything is important. Okay. So let's see what's our objective for today. So we are going to explore Microsoft Teams features like speaking progress, reading progress, and search progress for English teaching. Something that will be really amazing for you guys, because for Microsoft Teams, I think we are all familiar, or maybe most of us are familiar with it since the pandemic, where we have to learn how to use it properly because it was a need. Then we are going to practice again with chatbot-based or ChatGPT-based creation for worksheets. And here is where we are going to actually, I will provide more explanation in depth of how to write the examples using the prompts. Okay. Okay. Then we have also we are going to on ChatGPT, there are many things that you can do. And also in Gemini and other tools that I will provide later on, you can create worksheets, voice chats, and storytelling resources, right? So today we're going to understand how to utilize text to image tools. Really important that, we live in an era where, it's the new generation is a generation that it's a very visual group of people. So I think creating media like images, videos are a good alternative for for using these specific strategies in our classrooms, right? So we will have tools like DALL-E 3, Dreamlab, Leonardo AI, and Grok. And also we are going to learn how to create music using Suno AI for creative language activities, okay? Then I will going to demonstrate how to use AI beyond a chatbot, which is virtual reality. I have a tool called MetaQuest that will give you an idea of, you know, everything that can be used in your classroom and how you can apply it. Also, we're gonna have some interactive activities where we have to share ideas, and if you have any question, any suggestion, it's open space for you to have a discussion. Okay. So this is basically our outline for today. There will be many live demonstrations today, so please take notes, ask questions. It is really important for me to know that we are all on track, on the same track. Okay. So here we are, the essential AI tool for educators. So let's start with the first one, which is Microsoft Teams features. We all know, or maybe most of us know, what Microsoft Teams is. Some people consider Microsoft Teams very tedious in the way to use it. Probably Google Classroom is the most simplified one when it comes to LMS tools. However, I would say that these past 2 years, Microsoft Teams have improved a lot when it comes to AI features. And I think 2 months ago they created another feature that is really amazing, which is speaking progress. So I will give you more information about it right now. So speaking progress is a track student spoken responses, uses AI for pronunciation and fluency feedback. So this is really amazing because imagine that you are able to provide request your students to have I don't know, they have an assignment where they have to talk about a specific thing that they did during the week in your class, like they read a book or they have to read something very specific about I don't know, animals underwater, or they read a piece of a novel. So yeah, there are many things that you can use speaking progress for. And the good thing is that it will provide feedback. It will provide a feedback right away after the student finishes. My cats. Sorry for that. So so as you see, speaking progress is a good feature. I will don't worry. I will show you the how it works in real time. Then the other one is reading progress, which is basically the same, but in this one you are working on reading skills, reading aloud, how to make some pauses when you see a comma, and everything that has to do with developing reading skills. Then search progress is a good one if you have university students level. Why? Because let's say you're working on research, but you need to evaluate whether or not your students are able to look for internet, search on internet, and and find the right information, if it is accurate, if it is if the information is valid and all of that. So search progress will help you out with these kind of tasks. And then we have other AI assignments and rubrics that are well, they're more like assistant. They provide assistance for different things that you would like to do in Microsoft Teams. So it's more like time saving. It has a chatbot incorporated where you have to basically, you can, instead of writing the whole assignment, you could just explain in few words what your assignment is about, and it will create a whole assignment with the title, step by step, clarification in different things that needs to be clarified in your assignment. And it will also create a rubric based on another, based on your own explanation. So here is where it is important to know how to interact with chatbots, because this is a way to get the best from these tools. Okay. So here are the tools that we are going to be covering on Microsoft Teams. The first one is the speaker progress and reading progress. Also, there is one called Reflect, which will give you insights of how your students are feeling, depending on the kind of task that you are submitting on Teams. So let's say you submitted an assignment that probably for your students was impossible to do it, impossible. So they will have an option where they can I would say provide a feedback of how they felt. So they will have like emojis like inside out, similar to inside out, like I feel happy, I feel creative, I feel anxious, I feel scared. So it might sound silly, like to put a university student level to do so, but I do it, and it gives me like a very good idea of what kind of activities I feel, or I notice that my students feel a little bit uncomfortable. For example, when they have to speak in front of a camera, they might say that, or they select the emoji that shows a negative feeling. So it is important to track this kind of behavior in your classroom, whether it's virtual or in face to face. It is really important to do so. And this model follows the idea of SEL, which is social emotional learning, which is really important nowadays. Okay, let's continue. So yes, again, here we have speaking, the speaking progress feature. It's an AI driven tool designed to help students to improve public speaking and oral communication, right? So also provides real-time feedback on pace, clarity, and use of filler words. Generates personal reports to track improvement over time. So basically, if you have one session with speaking progress, if your student will get a feedback, right? The next time they will do an activity that requires using speaking progress, the AI will give you a comparison between your first try and your second try, first assignment, second assignment, and it will tell you, oh, you're improving. You have to work on this specific and on this specific I would say part of your speaking, it will, and I think it's really good because sometimes, students feel a little bit different when it's a machine telling you how you're doing than a teacher telling you how you do it. So, and also it's good because your students can practice out of the classroom. They will still get a feedback, which is really important. They need to know if whatever they're doing is correct or not, is they're doing it in a good way or not. So really important. Then for reading progress is basically the same. So it allows students to record themselves reading aloud, enabling self-paced learning. And also you can, the students can select the piece of text that I provide, and they can change the font, they can change the background color, they can do whatever they want with the text. So they find, I would say, a comfortable way to read what I assign. So I think it's very personalized for students, so they find the best way for reading. Then we have Reflect, which is another feature of Microsoft Teams. And here what it does is it's an AI-powered emotional well-being tool integrated into Microsoft Teams and helps students express emotions and reflect on their learning experiences. So it's not only a matter of, okay, I feel anxious, I feel happy, I feel creative, I feel I want to work, but also providing feedback of how was their experience during um, the old experience during that assignment that they have to complete and accomplish, right? So it's really something that it might look like unnecessary, but let me tell you something. Like, you learn a lot. You learn a lot from your students when you read how they feel about different things that they have to do in your classroom. So I think it has many benefits. For example, um, it's also anonymous, so that's really important for so your students don't feel like, oh, if I say that I didn't like this assignment, the teacher will know that it's me, the one that's saying so. So no, it's totally anonymous when you provide feedback, and I think it's a really cool feature that will provide validation for your students. Okay. So before, let me see what time is it. I think I have like 15 minutes. Before I go to the live demonstration, does anybody have a question or a comment? No. Yes.
I think
Yeah,
the live demonstrations
okay.
will be very good to see if we understood everything.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's go on the demonstration. Let me stop sharing here. Mhm. Okay, so this is basically how your Microsoft Teams will look like, right? So I have all my classes here. However, I created one for you to see how I work from scratch. So this is the workplace of Microsoft Teams. You have assignments, chat, activity, and all of that. However, I will focus on the features that I just mentioned. So the first thing that you have to do is to, of course, go on Microsoft Teams, open the app, and you have to create your basically your group, right? So in this one, I have AI in the classrooms, right? So I will open it. Of course, there are no students. But here is where you can find all these tools. Okay. So you have homepage, class notebook, classwork, assignments, rate, reflect. This is the one that I mentioned that is for the well-being of our students' emotions. However, let's go on assignments. Okay. So we go on assignments. And it says that I don't have anything. So let's create. So I have different options here. So new assignment, meaning that I can start from scratch. A quiz, and these are the learning accelerators, right? So I have reading progress, search progress, math progress. Of course, we will get into math progress because this is not the for language teaching purpose. And then the speaker program. And as you see, it says new. So it's something that came out last year, probably November, December. And it keeps getting some updates of, depending of the feedback that the community is providing. So they improve these features and these AI tools month by month. Okay, so let's say I would like to create a new assignment, right? So I click here. Okay. So let's say I would like to create my first assignment, right? So I just put the title, and then you decide whether it is a role play or a writing activity and all of that, right? So let's say I would like to have a role play, right? Or maybe not, maybe okay, cooking, right? So let's say my students were learning about cooking verbs, imperative, because when you read a recipe, most of the things are written in imperative statements. So let's say I would like to work on that. Again, I will try to provide an example, not with many details because of time matters, but you understand where to go, how to do it, what to write, and then you do it by yourself, okay? These features are not available if you don't enter the account with the institutional email. So if you are from if you are a university professor, you will have to sign in with your for using the email that is provided at the university. Also, I think for Meduca teachers, they have their email as well. So it is really important to point that out. So let's say I want to provide an instruction, right? So it will be like really, really easy the way I will provide my instructions, and then I will have the AI assistant to help me out. So students will Okay, of course, if you want to provide the vocabulary words, if you want to provide the specific grammar structure, probably I would say imperative here. So this is something that is not complete, is not well explained, but this is for you to see how the AI can help me out with this instruction. So what I would do is to go here on add details. So it will create more details for my assignment. So let's click here. So voila. So we have assignment number 1, cooking presentation. So overview in this assignment, and it will explain what the assignment is all about. Also you will have the objective, the instructions, step by step. It will actually give you some advice of how to proceed with your assignment. And it gives you the tips. Engage your audience, visual aids, stay calm, right? So if you like this version, you just have to say keep it. If you don't like, or there are certain things that has to be changed, then you go to adjust and you go on the grade level. So probably this is too easy because I have, I don't know, university level students. So I go to university. And the whole language and the way it's presented will totally change. Okay. So as you see, it's a little bit more formal, right? If you feel it's still not what you want, maybe I go to kindergarten. Of course, they don't know how to read, probably. So that's basically for the parents to read for them. Okay. Right. Also, you can change the language. We don't need to. But if you're teaching any other language, let's say Spanish as a second language, you can do so here. Okay. So it works for many languages. It's not something that only applies for English. Okay. So far, any question?
Professor, good morning. Very interesting. I just would like to know if you can go back and to repeat that part where you just click and everything. I mean, all the instructions expanded. I don't know if I
Oh,
made myself
okay.
clear, please.
Okay. Let me copy this so I don't have to type it again. Okay. So again, you enter Microsoft Teams. Let's say you already have your group created. This one is AI in the classroom. Then you go on assignments, right? Then when you click, you will have the option to create new assignment, right? Once you click new assignment, you will be here. Here you provide the title, and here you will provide a brief explanation of what your assignment homework will be all about. You don't need to, you just need to write the important points of the homework. So you see how the AI assistant will help you out with this. So in this case, you have to write, I think, at least like 20 words. So once you complete 20 words in your instruction, you're able to use these features here. These features here are the ones that are AI powered, right? So here you have options like add steps, add sparkle, add learning objective, clarify concepts, emphasize in key concepts, simplify in case you wrote too much, right? And add details, okay? So in my case, I wanted to add steps, and I click here and it started generating. Okay. Again, any question?
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So I think we are all on the same track. Now I will say keep it. And even though probably I won't use all of it, I can delete whatever I consider that is extra and not necessary. So remember, you always have to check what the AI is providing. Otherwise, it will have a situation where it's confusing for your students, but you don't know what was confusing for your students because you didn't check what the AI provided, right? Then, let's see, I want to add a rubric, right? So let me go back. So here you have your assignment, the instruction of your assignment, right? And on the right side, you have the deadline, if you for your current students or future students, all of that. So before assigning, you will go on add rubric because you want to provide a rubric to your students. So this one is also AI powered. I have some of the ones that I have created, but let's use the one that says create rubric using AI. Let's click here. Let's call it oral presentation. Open a demo, so I know that it's not the one that I usually use. Okay. So here you it will ask me what kind of things I would like to access here. Could you give me some ideas of what things I can access here, teachers? Go on chat.
Conversation, volume, tone,
Creativity.
Okay, voice.
fluency,
punctuation,
Visual aid.
Exactly.
creativity,
Perfect. Okay, so let's say I will oh, okay. Let's say grammar usage. So I will leave it like that, okay? I know there are many things, but just this is just for an example. So I will leave it
yes,
like
for an example.
yeah, pronunciation, tone of voice, vocabulary usage, visual aid, creativity, grammar usage. Okay, I think it's a very complete one. Okay, so here. So grade level, kindergarten, and probably I would like university level. So let's
University.
yeah. So excellent, good, fair, poor. So these are the ones that I would like to evaluate in the way that the points will be representing. Let's say 4 means excellent, 3 good, 2 fair, 1 poor, right? Or you have exceed standards, meet standards, below standards, so you don't get into points, okay? Or yes or no, or your costume, okay? So I usually use this, right? What criteria will this rubric evaluate? Clarity of explanation, engagement and enthusiasm, organization of content, use of visual aids. So let's say I would like this. this, load more suggestions, pronunciation, tone of voice, grammar usage, vocabulary usage, grammar usage. Let's keep it like that, okay?
Yeah.
And then I'll go here on create rubric using AI. Ta-da! So you have a rubric.
Right.
How much time did I take? Like 5 minutes.
Definitely time saving.
It's time saving. And you can download this so you can have it printed for your students. Right? And here is actually giving you an explanation of what excellent means. The video includes engaging visual aids that enhance understanding of the recipe, all of that, right? So you mark here that you want that this will be graded. So it will have points, right? And it gives you what percentage it is for each one. If you want to provide more percentage for one of the um the things to be evaluated, you can change the percentage. So let's say grammar usage is give you more percentage than the other ones, okay? So once you have that, you just put attached. So you're back to the instruction section, right? So you have order presentation, 100 points. And here, if you choose this one, reflect check-in, is what your students will do when it comes to how they feel about the assignment, right? So you click here on preview, so you see what the student will see. And here is, how are you feeling about this assignment? So let's say I was like, I'm struggling. So select the emotions that best describe your feeling. Anxious, stress. So you see, it's even kind of like fun to do, right? But these are the feelings based on your first option. So let's say I was here, I'm great. Then it's not just about like if your students feel bad or not about the assignment. If they feel good, you want to know why they feel good. Because I feel confident, I feel creative, I feel curious, focused, motivated. So they select and submit, okay?
Valued, motivated, enthusiastic, proud,
And low,
pleased with your own achievements.
and low key, they're learning emotions in English. So yeah, this is what your students can see. So yeah, I put reflect, check in. And here is when the magic, after I finish this, I promise I will give you your 15 minutes. I just don't want to like stop here and then go back and probably everything will be lost. So you go here on learning accelerator. So here you can attach anything as Teams usually works. You attach document, you attach apps. You'll know that. But here is what matters because they have to record themselves. But I don't want them to record themselves on the like create a MP4 video document file. I don't want that. I want them to record themselves in Microsoft Teams. So that's how I will use learning accelerators. And I will go to speak your progress. Okay. So here I select the language that my students will be using, numbers of attempts. I always put unlimited so they don't feel pressure that if this is the only opportunity that I have, I only have 5 opportunities, because that creates anxiety. So what I will do is to give me your best performance. Give me the best you can. Okay, so I will suggest to leave it unlimited unless there is a specific thing that you would like to evaluate where it is necessary to that they just have one try. Okay, so time limit. So I said that it was 5 minutes. Okay, so that's what they have to reach. Require video, release rehearsal report. Yes. So the rehearsal report is the feedback that the AI will be providing after they finish their video. They will get it right away. Okay, so let's select the things that I want I want the report to evaluate to the students. So I want everything, right? So delivery, filler words, pitch, pronunciation, inclusiveness. So they're not like, being saying discriminatory things in the video, and audience engagement. So body language. The body language works in a way that it's body language like you have to focus on the camera. You cannot be too close to the camera, too far from the camera. So that's what body language is being evaluated in these kind of settings. Okay. Here it says eye contact, distance, clear view. Okay. And here is where inclusiveness is about. So let's say I like it, right? And I put next. So I would like to see the student's view. So I press here, student view. And that's how they will see the assignment, right? They will see it like this. They can check the rubric. They can check the rubric here. They see everything that will be evaluated and what each score means, right? And then they have the speaker progress. They click on here. Okay, so I think I have to here. Okay, hello. So that's how they will work on. You can upload a PowerPoint if they want to, okay? So it's not only they speaking or they being in front of the kitchen. They can PowerPoint so they can speak while they pass the slides. So it's really cool. It's really cool. Okay, so let's say okay, hello everyone. My name is Abdias Luque, and today I would like to share with you a recipe that I like, which is rice with chicken. So first I have to boil the whatever, right? So once they finish, right? They will have a preview of the video, right? And then they will have a report. View my report. This is student view. Remember, this is not something that you will able to see. This is the report that the students will get, right? Then it will tell me like, okay, so clear view, distance, repetitive language, way to go. No sensitive phrases found. It says that I have some filler words like 3 right? And then my pitch Low pitch variation means you may sound it monotone, pronunciation, and all of that, okay? So basically, this is what the tool gives to your students. And of course, you have an extra rubric. So you're assessing what you're looking for in specific, like they use cooking verb, vocabulary related to cooking, imperative, and if they use it correctly or not. So that will be for the other rubric, right? That is here, okay? Okay, so let's stop here. So I didn't want to like stop over there. I know that we have a break on at 10 a.m. but I didn't want to cut it out and so I wanted just to finish and see what we can do with the speaker progress. So far, any question before we go to the break?
Yes, Professor. It is possible that they work in pairs using this tool?
For that, they have to be physically together.
Exactly. But it is possible then.
It is possible. It is
Okay.
possible. Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Any other question?
Okay, I guess I'll take it from here. Well, we're going to have a 15-minute break, which means that it's 10:10, and we'll be back at 10:25. Is that correct? All right. Enjoy your break. We'll be back soon. Well, dear colleagues, it's that time. It probably felt really, really short, the break, but there is a lot of information that I'm sure Professor Abdias needs to share with us before the end of the day. So, without any further ado, I'm just going to, let you to continue. Enjoy.
Thank you. Well, before I continue with Microsoft Teams, does anybody have a question, any comment regarding speaker progress tool?
Well, actually, I do. I was just wondering when you said when you showed us the student's view of the course, okay, where they get feedback from the AI tool. I was just wondering, is there a possibility where the instructor can be able to access that information as well?
No, you will have the report as well. So the
Okay,
rehearsal
so
report will be we will seen by the student and by the professor.
be the professor. Good,
Yeah.
good.
So, and you can actually create an automated report of all this the times the students access to the assignment and had the feedback. So you have a report of each profile and see what's the things that they have improved and they still need to work on.
And the other thing is, because I believe you said it as unlimited in terms of submitting the assignment.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if the student, let's say, is ready, does the best version or turns the best version of it, and gets the report. Okay, is there a way? Let's see, they would get feedback once the report is submitted, not before, correct?
They will get the feedback right away after they submit the video. So they finish the video,
Mm-hmm.
they submit it. It will take like 1-2 minutes for the AI to listen to and watch the whole video, and then it provides feedback right away.
No, the reason I'm asking is because, sometimes students want to do their best. And so if they get that feedback before the instructor actually sees it, then that would be great because they have another possibility of tweaking, and resolve any issues that they may have and then eventually submit it. Okay.
Actually, there are two submissions. So
Mhm.
the one that after you finish your video, it will analyze the whole thing, and then it will has the report for the student. If they feel happy with it, then they submit it to you. So on the platform.
Uh-huh.
So,
Right.
but when they submit it on the platform, can be changed.
It can't be changed. So they do have the alternative to play around with it until they're satisfied.
Yeah, exactly. If they see that the report is great, they will keep that version.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, perfect. So we covered the speaker progress. Let's work on the other one. Okay. So here I am. Okay. So that's the student view, right? And then let's say I want to assign. So it's there. Let's say that instead of working on an assignment, I just want to provide extra material for a specific thing that I'm teaching, right? So let's work on the reading, okay? So for that, instead of, well, okay, you are in assignment, right? We are all on assignments. Then we go on create. Then instead of new assignment, which is the thing that we did for creating this one, we will go directly to the accelerators. So let's go on reading progress, right? So for reading progress, you have different options for your students to practice their reading skills. So you can browse sample library if you don't really care what kind of reading they will engage with. Let's say you just want to work on you would like to just work on reading skills. Doesn't matter what they're reading. But if the content is important for you, then you will import the Word or PDF with the reading you will like them to work on. Or you can generate a reading passage using AI. So you have different options here, right? So let's say I want to import a PDF, right? Here, let's say I have Romeo and Juliet. Okay, so in this case, it is too long. But let's say that, let me find something a little bit, okay, maybe this one. Okay, probably it's not helping, but here, for PDF, probably it's a little bit tricky, but if you have a word, you just copy and paste what you want your students to read, then you go on. So let's go on the sample library. So you have a different option here. Let's say you want on secondary. Let's choose fighting for their life. Here it tells you what kind of genre it is, non-fiction, fiction, how many words and letters, right? Okay, so you have this. Right? So what you will do is to the same. So how many attempts you will allow your students to have? Then the time limit. So let's say it's 5 minutes. Default. If default, when you choose default or more sensitive or less sensitive, is how much attention you will put on the way they pronounce things, right? Besides reading, you could add some comprehension, so it would generate questions regarding the reading itself, right? Okay, so it can generate, sorry, here, right. When you put the option add comprehension, right? You have different options. You can generate the question with AI, or you can add your own questions in case of you want to delve into an specific things that you want your students to explore. Okay, so let's generate the question. So how many questions would you like to generate? 4. So it will read the whole thing and I will provide questions that are related to the reading. Okay, and here you have questions that are were generated based on the reading that I have here on my left side, right? So what has been a result of Mamie Kennedy's boxing skills? Then here is telling me what the right option is. Of course, that's something that I only can see. Okay. So describe the purpose of the Blackfeet Nation Boxing Club. And here it's giving you an idea of how they should reply based on this, right? So let's say I like it, right? So I keep it. And then again, I do the same thing. I put the title.
Mr. Luque, can I ask you something?
Yeah, sure.
Is there any possibility that a student can manage well that tool and then they can ask the program to give the answer, to provide the answer?
Oh yeah, they will provide feedback. If they have it wrong, it provides a feedback of what the right answer should be. What was that the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. It's not only right or wrong, but I will give you the right option. Okay. So again, you write here the title, then the instruction, right? The same thing. If you want a rubric, you can generate a rubric for reading comprehension. You can create one here. So basically the same steps, right? So let's see how students see it. So of course it has no instructions because I haven't written any, but you already know how to use it. So let's see what happens when the students click here. Okay, so I have to, in this case, I put that the video is important. So let's say that for you it's important that the student shows their his face, so you know that he's the one that is indeed reading the document or the passage, right? So that those are for those cases probably. Okay. So let me try it again. Okay. So it will do the same thing, right? So Mamie Kennedy is practicing her boxing skills, fiercely slamming her fist as a punching bag until it whips, and so on, right? So as you see, is recording, right? And once you finish, it will basically provide, let me exit student view. You can do that by yourself. You can all of you can see like what the student can see. But basically, after I finish reading, it will provide the same kind of report that I got from the speaker progress. And it will give you some tips of how to improve your reading comprehension. And after they are done with it, they will have to complete the comprehension assignment. What is the version of that Microsoft Teams? Okay, that's the version that you use anytime you sign up with a institutional email, an email from Meduca or University of Panama, or for example, I use the one here from ITSE, where I work as well. So it works for any institutional email. I don't know if that answered the question. Randy. will we get the link of the recording of this presentation at the end of the, Professor Marisol, Professor Belsis, I think
Well,
they,
the thing is that it requires some editing. So whenever the is ready, they'll have it. But I will ask ADKL to see one. Okay. Thank you.
so you will have it.
Yeah, they will have it.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So for, okay, Erica has a question.
Yeah, I would like to know if we can, this activity should be done in teams, right?
Yeah, because it's a
Can
Teams
we-
issue.
Can we embed it like at least the feedback or something like that to the university platform, UP Virtual? It doesn't give the option to embed the activity into UP Virtual, right?
You mean that if the students are like, if you're able to see what the students created on these tools, is that what you mean?
No,
Like
he
if we
said like
can,
use with Moodle. Moodle is part of UP Virtual for University of Panama.
if we
The
can,
Moodle platform.
if we can embed, you know that, for example, Moodle allow us to embed in from an activity into Form or some other platforms. I'm asking if I can embed this activity that I create in Teams into Moodle.
Well, I'm not sure about it, to be honest. How you could try it, however, I'm almost convinced that everything that it has to do, like any type of tool that is in Teams, stay in Teams. Like there is no, and probably you could share a link or something to go to
To this task.
yeah,
in
to this
Teams.
class, but you have to submit and have a Teams app in order to access.
So the students should be on Teams too in order for
Yeah,
them to
but
fulfill the
they don't have to have a special account. It's the professor that needs the special account, so they can enter with any Outlook mail.
But as they have their institutional account too, they can use it with Teams.
Yeah, they can use any. Yeah, but it has to be a Microsoft email, basically.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any other question? No? Okay, so let's go back here and let's assign, right? So let's create another one. And this one is search progress, right? So basically in this specific tool is for the students to understand how to look for information on internet, right? So let's say my students are looking for I don't know, I would say different tenses in English language, right? And English. Okay, let's keep it like that. Okay. So then you will have the search tip, right? So once you find a reliable site, it can help you find more. Try using important words and phrases from that site in a new search, right? So, okay. Can lazy students get their answer to that reading from AI? Well, the thing is, if you allow the students to have this activity with the reading comprehension, if you have the option that they have to open their cameras, right? They don't have the time to take a picture of the reading and then send the picture to the AI and then answer the reading. Because they have the reading available once they press to start the activity. There is not a preview version of what you're about to read. You don't know what you're going to read. You know the title, but you don't know what the content is. So I think opening putting the option of having the cameras open would avoid this to happen. Okay, so to be a member of team or class, do the students need to have no, they don't need to have an institutional account. It can be any account as long as it is a Microsoft account. Okay, perfect. So here you have when they look for things, anything, to be honest, you will have like different things you can access to, and it will tell you like reliability if it is unrated, so you don't know, domain, and last scroll 2 days ago. So here you have like different different features that will tell you that if the source of information that you will get from these websites are reliable or not, right? So I think it's a good option for your students to practice this, right? I don't think it's something that you will use a lot, probably for graduate students. I think it will be helpful. But yeah, you have you know what it is, and the option is there for you to know. Okay. So I think we are done with Microsoft Teams. What do you think?
I think it's amazing because students can receive some feedback as soon as they do the activity. And as you gave several tries, maybe they can go and fix it again. And besides that, you said that the AI give them some tips to improve, which is really important. So I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for your students to have access to these tools, because sometimes we forget that our students are probably the only place where they can practice English is in our classroom, the 40 minutes, the 1 hour, the 2 hours per week. So having this will be a great extra for them to practice asynchronously. Yep. Very good.
I would like to ask another question. And that is, I was wondering, because sometimes students tend to, they tend to work on well, they have to work on, let's say, presentations. They read the information, they understand what they're reading. However, when they need to produce that information, sometimes they encounter technical terms. Okay. And so I was wondering, as you were talking about the reading component and sort of the reading out loud, and that feedback that they get um, from AI, I guess, it's quite useful, okay? Because they can say, okay, well, I mispronounced this word, okay, and so it allows them to go to take a step further into, let me look at how it is pronounced, okay, and they would have to do that themselves. My question is, well, is there a way where in which that a correction is done orally? Meaning if they can hear it. I mean, I'm probably asking for a lot, but hey, this tool does just about everything. So I might just ask. Is there a way in which the report, let's say, you have an issue with this word, let's say, um, would this with this application or whatever you call it,
Yeah,
allow them to know how it is pronounced?
I think in this case is since it's a report, it will be written. It's a written report. However, if whenever you have a session with your students, maybe one by one, if it is possible, you can since you have access to the report as well, you can discuss and try to translate in an easy way what the report is trying to tell the student. Like
True.
filler words, maybe they don't know what a filler word is, so they don't
Right.
understand what they're being and assessed. So
Yeah, I was just concerned about, some technical words. And so, but still, if this tells them, you have an issue with a term, let's say.
Also,
Um,
what you can do is to explain what each of the terms means. So if you filler words, okay, that means that, oh yeah, do you have a situation with the pitch of your voice? So it means that this and that. So
okay.
they understand what's going on the report.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Abias.
But since technology is advancing really fast, probably the next update for next month will be to have a spoken version of the report. So who knows? Okay, perfect. Okay, could you provide me a link to download Teams? Yeah, I can do that. I can put it on Classroom if you want. And if I don't, because I forgot, let me know next day or text me privately on Classroom. Okay, perfect. So, well, lots of things to do and cover. Well, we got here, right? So, I wanted this to be on Mentimeter, but I would like to hear from you, which Teams features do you think could most impact your teaching practice? Can some can someone share?
Um,
You
in
can
writing, or you would like us to speak?
speak, chat. Yeah.
Okay. In my particular case, at college level, I would say speaking progress, because speaking is a very important component of the program where I teach. And
Okay.
I have noticed that the features, even though I have been using Teams for a while, I wasn't aware of these extra new features. So I'm really happy and thankful for you sharing your knowledge and providing us with your experience in using them. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And this is just one of the things. I have plenty of tools here that probably we won't cover everything today, but we will keep going on those tools tomorrow. Yes, somebody else?
Well, I would like to say that I'm really happy with these tools because I think that these are tools that are very important for students to practice their like verbal and communicative skills. Like sometimes you know that at the English department we may have students that are very advanced and their speaking skills are really high, but then we have some students that they are following a little bit behind and they need some additional support for them to be able to practice. And this not only gives them the opportunity to practice, but it also gives them some feedback to monitor and check their progress. So both the speaking and the reading tools, both of them, I think that they are really good for the students, and we could use them for example, the subject integrated language skills, where we need to provide like short and simple activities for them to do, and they could do this regularly, and they can even check their own progress. And it has like a way to actually monitor that if the student is the one speaking, because you can see them on video, and as you see them on video, you make sure that the student is the one reading or the student is the one speaking and not somebody else that is doing the assignment for them. So I really like this. And even though I have used Microsoft Teams for a while, I haven't really noticed these tools. So I'm very happy with the content today. And this is something I'm really taking home with after today's session. I'm very glad that you shared this with us. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I think this is a great opportunity for the students that always feel behind their classmates. And this is something that they can do anytime, anywhere, as many times they want to, only until they feel that they got the best performance for a specific assignment. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, perfect. So yeah, again, so we have ChatGPT, but see it as something that can be applied for any chatbot in general. I always mention ChatGPT not because it's a trend right now, but we have to accept that ChatGPT is the most powerful chatbot right now so far, and that's why I always use this one as a reference, because it is important to um it is important to know that this is the one that will teach the other chatbots how to do it, right? So as we have been using the frameworks, creating prompts and all of that, the whole idea of knowing how to interact with chatbots is to create different content for educational purpose, right? So one of those is content generation, of course, for planning, activities, and summaries, right? So in conversational responses, like fluid interaction with students, personalization, adjust responses according to educational level. So if you have students that come from elementary school, high school, university level, you can personalize it. And if you are a college professor, maybe you have students from different cultures, like medicine, you have administration, um, science, and all these places. So you can personalize whatever you're teaching. You know that we have to follow a specific linguistics aspects that we need to teach, like grammar, vocabulary, and all those things. But we can adapt it to their career, they're taking, right? So if it is medicine, probably some of the examples will be adapted to things that they will experience or are learning in other courses, but in English. So I think personalization is the key feature of chatbots, right? Personalize the content of your class without changing major factors of the content of your class, right? So in order to create in order to create a lesson plan, let's say, there is this is something really important because tomorrow we will be creating lesson plans using chatbots and also a new model similar to SIOP, but that is for technology integration that will be covered tomorrow. So that's why I'm here trying to give you like a preview of how you should, work on lesson plans, right? So again, you will work on RTF, which is role, task, and format. So this is the framework that we're gonna be using for this specific task, right? So I think we're already very well familiar with this framework, right? Okay, Belkis, yes?
Yes, Professor, here. I don't understand. For example, we have the role. Would it be defined from AI's perspective, and then it specifies what the role, and it would create or provide then the role itself. But because to me, define would be an activity to perform more than a role to take. And that's
Well,
my misunderstanding.
okay, here this is not an example of what you have to write. It's telling you what the role is about. So you have to, in this case, the role is not that I have to write design AI's perspective. It means that I have to provide what the perspective of the AI will be focused on. So it will focus on teaching, language teaching. It will be focused on, um, I don't know, linguistics, grammar, literature. So that's what I meant. This is not
Right
really
now.
what you have to write.
No. What I mean is that I was trying to interpret the message, which is defined from an AI perspective. That is now clarified. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so so here, when it comes to the task, you will be specifying the lesson plan topics and target audience. And here is where, again, here is where you have to write a lot. If you feel that your task section of your prompt is this size, probably it won't give you what you're looking for. So you have to write everything. The time duration, level of proficiency. If you have students that have some difficulties and you feel that they're behind of what the program is expecting the students to know, all of that, everything is necessary. Okay, and the format, of course. So if you want this lesson plan to be in a specific, with a specific model, so let's say SIOP, or there isn't a specific model for the University of Panama or UNACID or Meduca, but it has to have an example of how that, because lesson plans, there are many type of lesson plans. There are many ways to design a lesson plan. So you have to attach to the one that you use in your institution. Okay, clear here? Okay. Let's continue.
I
Okay.
have a question here.
Yes.
Once the task is produced by the AI, can I modify it to to what I want? Can I make modifications?
Yeah, sure. I mean, when you're working on the task and specific things that you want for your lesson plan, of course, if you don't want to really stick to a specific model for creating a lesson plan, let's say the one from the University of Panama, or there is a more standardized model out there like TESOL or SIOP, you can do so as long as you mention it's possible, right?
For example, if I don't like the terms used, the words that it used to give instructions. If I don't like, if for example in I don't know, in phonetics, I use certain terminology, and the AI generated a task using another terminology, similar but not the ones that I have used in my class. Those terminologies, can I change them or it's fixed?
Yeah, for that you have two options of if, since you understand what you're teaching, you know what's wrong and what's correct. So you can do it manually by just like editing as long as you know that what's wrong is the concept, so the word that is used, but the definition is correct. So I think that you would do it manually. If you think that it's not uh, um, um, is not accurate, the information that is providing, then you can feed the chatbot with extra information. So you copy and paste something from a PDF, a document, a research paper, a book, something that you need to feed the chatbot. So it understands that, okay, this is what you are talking about. Okay, perfect. And this is for everyone. So if you feel that the AI is not generating something that you want, it's good to provide extra information, whether you upload a file with the things that you are covering for the class, or there's some tools, chatbots that they can actually search on internet right away on the conversation section, and then it will learn from it and then provide the accurate information. Okay. So here, you have an example of how your prompt would look like. Of course, this is very simple. And we know that classes are not that simple to explain, but here is like a structure of how you should manage your prompt before submitting, right? So you're an experienced university professor in this specific subject. So if you teach in a college level, you teach English communication, okay? You teach that, you put that one. If you are in the in the English school and you teach I don't know, literature, grammar, phonetics, then you put that one. And create a detailed 60 minutes lesson plan for this topic, designed for this student level. So the plan should include, then you put everything that you're expecting from this class, right? If you need to add resources, you upload that. So not only well, I think I misspoke. Not the resources, the sources. So you can upload sources. such as research papers, articles, the link of the article from internet. So anything that you consider that is important to feed the chatbot in order to provide accurate information, and you don't have to go over and over editing and again fighting with the chatbot that like, no, this is not what I want, this is actually what I want. Remember that there is something called AI hallucination. And what is AI hallucination? AI hallucination means that it will try to give you something that looks correct, but actually is not correct. But it will try to convince you that it's correct because if you're requesting this information, it will give you this information no matter what. If you requested how to teach English to a fish, it will find a way to give you that information no matter what. So we have to be careful. And that's why when it comes to these specific tasks, like creating a lesson plan or providing information for your students to study, it is important to corroborate that what I'm providing is reliable, is correct. The only way to know this or to prevent this is by feeding the chatbot with the information that you know, the sources that you know are reliable. Any question so far?
Maybe just here, Professor, a
Mhm.
little additional comment. As you say, now it will give everything that you request. It is only by adding the information or the detail that you have. For example, the resources needed, for sure, they will give if we asked. It would be very, very complete, depending if this is what we have requested or instrumented the prompt to give us. Probably also those sources, that's a different thing, the sources or the references, and it will definitely will give it at the end, at the very bottom, the bottom of the of the response. It will give where was this information taken from. So it is very, very helpful, save a lot of time, and also it's very specific in the way we can apply this in a lesson for students. It is great for classroom purposes. Thank you.
Thank you. That's right. That's right. We have to be very precise when it comes to what we're requesting and always check on if the information is correct or not. Okay. So here, this is what you have to follow. We will see this tomorrow. No worries. Because we will have a session where we have to create a lesson plan. So take a picture, screenshot. I will have this on Classroom as well, in case you need it for tomorrow breakout session. Okay. Let's continue. I think it froze. Yeah. Okay, we will leave this one for tomorrow. I think because I would like you to show in real time how I do it in my class. But I think I would like to cover other features in order for you to have like all the tools that I'm trying to let you know to have in your possession. And once you have all the tools that you consider that are beneficial for your classroom, then we can create something. Okay. Then we have a voice chatting ChatGPT for interactive language learning, right? So if you have the latest version of ChatGPT, ChatGPT can actually speak and help you out with certain tasks, right? So here it says that we have real-time conversations because ChatGPT can allow students to engage in spoken language practice. Of course, before telling ChatGPT what the role is, right? So as you see, even if it is with a voice chat, you still need to follow the frameworks, right? By providing the role, the task, like, hey, you need to ask my students questions with the WH questions, what, which, who, where, why, and as present simple tense. So that will be the task. And then the format, of course, the format will be spoken because it's the only way it provides the output. But then you can say after the interaction, you can provide a feedback to the student, right? I know, and it can be it can be used in different ways. So if you want your students to practice WH questions or practice in a specific tense or scenario-based dialogues, or let's say you would like to talk to Shakespeare. So you ask ChatGPT to act like Shakespeare, and then or any famous person or character. So it will imitate how that character would reply based on what is available in information regarding that character, regarding that famous figure, right? So I will show you some of the examples that I have used in my classes. Start right now.
Hello, I would like to inquire about the process for booking an appointment. Can you help me with that?
Of course. First of all, what type of appointment would you like?
I'd like to book an appointment for a consultation, please.
Okay, in that case,
Okay, are you able to hear it? Yes, no?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So as you see, it was what kind of activity it was? By answering phones, right? Phone calls. So the student was practicing how to answer a phone call from a desk, right? So ChatGPT was role playing as a customer, right? And she was working as a customer service that needed to take phone calls and provide information and solutions and all of that, right? Let me
Start right now.
put it again.
Hello, I would like to inquire about the process for booking an appointment. Can you help me with that?
of course, first of all, what type of appointment would you like?
I'd like to book an appointment for a consultation, please.
Okay, in that case, I need to transfer you further to the department so we can make that appointment, okay?
That sounds good. Thank you.
Of course. I'll be transferring it now.
Great job, Stephanie.
Okay, so it even know the name of the student, right? So this is something that is really cool, but I will show you how to use how to do it. The downside of this is that you need the premium version. The premium version is $20 per month. However, what some of the teachers where I work at, what they do is that they have one account that they share in group of 4 teachers. So each one pay $5. So how does that work? In case you consider that is like really expensive. Um, since ChatGPT works with tabs, so it doesn't matter if I'm using ChatGPT here and another person is using ChatGPT here on the computer. If as long as you work in different tabs, so meaning in different conversations, it doesn't affect what the other one is doing. So I think it's a great way to save some money and still have these amazing features. You can also have ChatGPT on your phone, right? And work like this. So let me show you how. So mhm. Okay. So I have ChatGPT here, right? And then there is one option here that is white, and I can press it, right? I cannot do it on the computer because it won't allow me to speak. But basically it's like an Alexa. I just press here, and when it gets blue, it means I can talk. Hello, how are you?
Hi there.
Hello?
Hello. How's it going?
Well, pretty good. How about you?
I'm glad to hear that. I'm doing great. Thank you. What can I do for you today?
Okay, can you help me out with a speaking activity?
Of course. What kind of speaking activity would you like help with?
Okay, I would like you to act as a character from Romeo and Juliet story.
Sure. Which character would you like me to act as?
Romeo?
All right. I'll do my best to channel Romeo. What would you like me to say or do?
I don't know. Ask me a question as if Romeo would ask or say something.
All right. What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. What do you think?
Nice. Perfect.
Thank you. If you need anything else, just let me know.
Okay, could you ask a question to one of my students regarding Romeo and Juliet, but like you are in the character of Romeo?
Here's a question for your student. What do you think drove Romeo to act so impulsively throughout the story?
Yeah, but you could you role play as Romeo and speak like Romeo would do?
Absolutely. Fair student, what thinkest thou of Romeo's hasty heart that led him to such dire ends?
Yeah, those are one of the things that the chat the voice chat can do. It can role play as and has a role as a famous character in a novel or story book, whatever. You can ask questions to your students, right? And they can use the computer. In this case, I was using the computer in the previous video. They would just get close to the computer and like if it was a microphone, and they just have to listen to the question and then reply, and then the conversation go on, and they can ask questions back and all of that.
Professor, can you say again, how did you do that? What is the option for recording or having that interaction with the chat GPT?
Okay, sure. So whenever you have a new conversation like this, I don't know if you can see it. You have message ChatGPT, right? So this logo here, the white one, is the one that you have to press. So when you press it, when it gets blue, it means you can interact with it.
Hello, excuse me, but you have to pay for that option or not?
For that, you have to pay. Yes.
Yeah, premium, it's premium.
Yes,
Okay, and so in that, if I want to use that, so I have to pay for that.
yes, exactly. Exactly. But as I mentioned, there are like different alternative for you to load the cost by sharing the account. You create a new account and you share it with another person. So it's not really expensive for you to spend $20 every month. So you minimize the cost. But I think it's really worth it because imagine all the scenarios where you can use this. So if you're teaching social studies, you can ask ChatGPT to act as any specific character or person from history, important person from history, and he can actually mimic the accent and the language that was used back then in Romeo and Juliet based on the settings, right? So I think it's really impressive. You can do whatever you want with this. If you want this to act as whatever you are, whoever you want, it will do it. It will definitely do it. Any question? Any comment?
Again, I think that we have to practice, practice, and practice. So make
Yes.
it work.
The
Yeah.
tools are out there, but the other way to master these tools is to use it. That's the only way. And that's how I learned. The hard way, but I learned.
It's like
One
when you don't.
question, Mr. Luke.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hello.
Who's
How
speaking?
long did it take, Apolinar? How
Okay.
long did it take you to learn all these things?
Okay. Probably 1 year, but that doesn't mean that it takes 1 year to learn how to use it, because as you see, it's very simple. You just click and speak. What is difficult is to figure out how to apply it in a classroom. So that's what you need to master. So the tools are there, but you need to master it and find a way that it's not just a time killer, but something that is really beneficial for your students. So yeah. What takes time is how to master these tools. But the only way to master something is you have to do it, you have to use it.
So, I mean, is there a possibility that, for example, you ask students to bring their own ChatGPT and make a demonstration, or I don't know, tape themselves doing that, so everybody can do their own practicing, and you as a teacher can observe how they interact with this voice feature?
Okay, well, in this case, it will be a little bit, well, depending of the kind of students you have. If they all have the money to pay 20 bucks every month to use it, that will do. But what I try to do is that I'm the one that has the tool and I allow my students to use it. So what I would do is, like, if we were reading a passage or story, short story, and there is a character, a fictional character, and I would like my students to ask questions to that character as the ChatGPT is that character. So the ChatGPT will answer to those questions based on the character frame of mind. You know what I mean? So if the character was a criminal, it will, depending of the questions that you will ask, it will try to hide things in order to avoid that you uncover secrets or something like that. So this thing gets really creative and the ways it can be used.
In that case, you will give the instructions to the AI before you make the interaction with your students, right?
Exactly. Just as I did with the phone,
You
I
give you
provide. Mhm.
the instructions, the actually the prompts that you want them to act as. Okay.
Yeah, so it was basically the prompts that we have been learning, but verbally.
And what about, how do you manage, because as in a free account, we use usually our emails. So when you pay, do you receive a password or something like that, that if we share payments, we all have the same password to enter?
Yeah, you have to share the Gmail and the password. That's why I recommend you to create a new one. So they
So
don't have to use your personal one.
So if we decide to share, then we will create an account just for that purpose.
Yeah, yes, for that purpose. Exactly.
All righty.
Good. So yeah, as you see, there's plenty of tools that are like available out there and can do amazing things. And now we have this one that I consider is really cool. Is called Notebook LM. So what is this? So this is an AI-powered study and research tool by Google. It uploads documents, PDF, notes, articles, and generates summaries, insights, and structured content. So I use when I when I was studying my master, I have a problem reading things that are above 50 pages. I know it's a problem, but my eyes don't allow me to read much, and for me it's really tiring to be sitting down and get a 800 pages book and read out of that. So in that case, what I do is that for study purposes, I upload the PDF or the book or whatever file I had, and it will create like a podcast kind of like reacting to what the content of the PDF is or the content of the file is, and so I can listen to it. So and I don't damage my eyes even more. So I think it's a very good tool because for educators can do some lecture preparation for you to know what you should talk about. You know what the content is, you manage the content, but probably it will help you out of how to deliver that content for your students because they're not experts and in that field or in what you're teaching. So it will create it will give you an example of the kind of language you should use for your students to understand. Okay, so it can be content creation because it can generate quizzes, lesson plans, and discussion questions based on the audio that it creates. Remember that this creates audio, right? This is a MP3 format. Note organization because it's structure academic materials and for students it's for study aids. This is I use this more for this specific purpose. And also it organizes and refines research. And also you can interact in real time whenever they are speaking to each other because they're always like a man and a woman exchanging information about the document that you provided. So let's see that. Okay. So remember, it's called where is it? Okay, it's called Notebook LM. Notebook LM is by Google. Okay, so you just need a Google account. Okay, let me share. Yeah. Okay, so maybe not this. Okay, perfect. Very good. So let's say I want to start a new one, right? I will, you know what, I will give you this. So you have access to, I just shared the link, so you have access to it whenever you want. Okay, perfect. So let's see, I want to create something new, right? So I will submit a document. And I would like to work on one of my reading assessment, right? Reading comprehension assessment for my lesson plan for this one. Yeah, here. So it will have an overview of what the document is about, right? You can write something that you would like to focus on from the document, if you already know what the document is and what the content is. So once you write everything that you need, right? You will press here to generate. You also can ask for a specific thing, like if you want to you need study guidance, you would do that. If you need a summary, you would do that. Frequent questions, you would do that. Okay, so let's say is I just want a summary, right? And I will create the audio, right? So the audio you can download it. So so you can hear it and not you don't have to go on this website, so you can have it on your files. No, this one is not Teams. We finished Teams after the speaker and reading tools. What we have here is a Google tool that is called Notebook and LM, okay, which is for study and research purpose. You have to go to the website, the one that I just provided here in the chat. Okay, so we will check that later because it says that it takes some minutes to create. Okay. So in the meantime, let's continue with another tool. We will leave that go on until is done. Okay. So here we are. But as we know, every time we want to teach, and especially for kids, every time we want to teach new vocabulary words, it is a little bit tricky for some students to just understand certain concepts by just reading the word, by mimicking, modeling by the teacher. So they need to watch, visualize something. And that's how these tools plays out. So you will have DALL-E 3, Canva, and AI, Leonardo AI for text to image generator, right? It's a text to image generator. So what's this for? Well, if you want to, I don't know, have a short story, whether you made it, you made it up, or it's a story that it's part of your the content of what you have to teach, but probably that story doesn't have any illustration. What you can do is to generate the illustration, so it would make the whole thing more engaging, right? So how do you use these tools? Very easy, actually. For DALL-E, DALL-E is a tool that is integrated in ChatGPT. You can create images for the free version. However, you will have certain attempts until it tells you like, hey, you have to get the premium version and so on. But then next day you will have option to create at least 10 more, I think. So that will be an option for you if you don't want to pay anything. Yeah, exactly. So we use DALL-E for this. It's in ChatGPT. You don't need to go to any other website, right? Then we have Canva. Are you familiar with Canva? I love Canva. Actually, all the stuff that you see here was made in
Yes.
Canva. Yeah, so on Canva, there is a feature actually here. I mean, yeah, I remember I was on Canva. So wait. Okay. If you go back here, you go to something called Dreamlab, right? In Dreamlab, when you are in the home section of Canva, on Dreamlab, you can create images as well. For example, create an image of teachers learning how to use AI for language. Yeah, it created these images. Because this work as text to image. So it will create an image based on your text, right? I'm just giving you some examples of things that you can do. So let's do something fun. Create an image of Romeo and Juliet. Okay, let's try it out. Let's take it to the limit. So of course, since it doesn't have any context of what Panama look like, this looks more like Casco and maybe other clothing.
Change the country and type in France.
Yeah, then you have to change the prompt and it will give you something else.
Maybe you could say something like with a Panamanian pollera and a Panamanian.
Yeah, like more specific.
More specific, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you can modify as much as you can. Go and give more deeply because this is a very poor prompt. But just here giving you like an idea of how to use it and in which specific cases you can use it. Hmm, image, but the Panamanian version. So let's say you want to create a book cover. So look.
Professor, is that
Right.
Canva, right?
Is that is Canva, yeah.
But for free, or that is the version that we have to pay?
The free version has it, but with limited tries. When you buy the the one that is paid, which is $6. Hear me out. This is $6 a month, but you have the ability to add 4 members since you're the 5th one. So if you find 4 members to join your Canva account, those are called teams. So at the end, if everyone wants to pay, it's just like it's not $6 a month, it's $1 a month.
Okay.
So try it out and see all the things that you could do, right?
Yes, sure. Can you share the link, by the way, of this one?
Oh, this one you just have to go to Canvas. I have the app, so I enter the app. I can do it right.
Okay.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So no problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Just 1 second. Okay, so you have it here on.
Yes.
Yes.
The same way we create these frames prompt, it's the same way we work in this in Leonardo and this kind of AI.
Yes, it works the same way because remember, it's still an artificial intelligence tool and they all work the same thing. So you can use the frameworks, you can add more detail as if you are just texting. Okay. The only difference is that this one will give you a different output. In this case, an image instead of text, right? So also, what you can do here is wait. Let's say you want to create let's see, what is it? Here. Okay. Do you see ChatGPT workplace, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say I would like to create a story, right? I would like to create a story based on Alice in Wonderland, but for let's say A2 level, right? So how would I do that? Okay, first is act as an expert in storytelling, right? I mean, you can do all the prompt all at once, or you can go step by step so you can actually visualize what you're requesting, right? So I would like you to mm, so let's keep it like that, okay? Right now, I'm in ChatGPT, just in case you were wondering where we are. Okay, so let me go back here. So I will be copying and pasting where I have the whole story of Alice in Wonderland. I'm using the very old version. It's really long. Okay. I'm back here, ChatGPT. Okay, I will paste. That's a lot, right? Mhm. Make sure it is 300 word length. Okay, 300 words length. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, it says that it's too long. So since it's too long, I will try to just like delete some of the part of it. But I mean, you can do that with a document as well. The thing is that I didn't find the document. Well, let's say just erase some of it. Because I just, what the point here is that I want to show you how it will create everything, okay? Based on something that you provide. Let me try something different.
I think that at the very beginning, when you have, would you like the prompt, a helping specific story, and then you add a, based on Alice in Wonderland there, you would have of 300 words approximately, and then it will give you exactly the story that you would like to have, or you.
Or, yeah, thank you. Or I just ask ChatGPT that give me the story based on, because it has a huge database, so it knows what Alice in Wonderland is about. But let's see. This is a lot. Okay, let's keep it like that. Okay. I'll ask him to reply. Yeah. Okay. So now he's providing the story, right? So it will be a little bit different because what I did was that this is for A1 English proficiency level. So of course, the language that is using is very simple, right? So maybe you would like to teach this to elementary school students, but if they don't have a high proficiency level, probably reading the original one will be a tedious task to do. So it will be difficult for you to teach and for them to bear the class itself. Okay, so let's say this is what you are looking for. And then what you're going to do is work on the format. If you like it like this, it's okay. But let's say that you want to present this on PowerPoint. So what you will do is to request to okay, so you will have this organized into slides, right? So you have slide 1, and this is what you're going to basically copy and paste on PowerPoint or Canva presentation or the type of tool that you use for presenting, right? So it is the same content that I have here. I just work on the format, right? But what if I want to create an illustration for this? Okay. So see what I'm going to do. So create an illustration for slide 1. So the slide 1 is Alice is a small girl. She likes adventures. One day Alice sees a white rabbit. The rabbit says, "Oh no, I'm late." Right? And it will be creating the image, right? Oh, so here what it's saying. So it couldn't create the illustration for slide 1 because of high demand. So this is what probably happens when I'm using it a lot. But it will create. So let's say instead of doing it here, use you copy this. Let's say you don't want to use ChatGPT. You copy that. Go on Canva. Right? Create an illustration. Base. Okay. And here. So look at it. Nice, right? So you can do this with whatever you want, whatever story come up to you, any idea, you can create the image, right? Maybe oh, stop it. You can also work on the art direction, so make the visuals more realistic. Look. So as you see, there are different ways to work on this, and for those who teach literature or in middle school, elementary school, this will be an excellent tool. And also for content creation, you can create your own visuals, so you don't have to look for the pixelated picture on Google and so nobody can understand what the picture is about. You can create your own pictures. Unfortunately, time is over. I would like to respect your time, but we can continue tomorrow morning with more of this. And we will actually create our own story using all these tools. So be creative tomorrow.
Oh, wow. There's so much out there that can enhance the teaching and learning experience. Well, at any rate, this wraps up today's session. I'm sure that you have learned quite a bit about AI and how it's being used or could be used in our teaching. We would like to thank Professor Luque for taking the time to share all his expertise with us. And also all of you, because you've been here, a wonderful audience. And I just want to remind you that we will continue. There's so much more that, the rest of the week. And to log in or sign in on time, 8 o'clock on the dot, so that we can learn much more. Professor Ortega, do you have any final comments to make?
Well, not really. I guess Professor Abdias is going to upload all of the material we had today, review, because we need to review. I mean, we ask our students to review and study, so let's be good students, review and
I
study and
think
practice.
we're very encouraged to use all these
Yeah.
tools because they would make life so much easier.
Oh,
And not
yes.
only that,
Oh,
it would
yes.
improve
Oh,
the environment, learning environment for our students as well.
well,
And
for
yes, I
me,
just wanted
yes.
to mention for those that haven't seen the homework uploaded today. Later on, I will provide a discussion board. So you just have to talk about the tools that you learned today and how you would use it in your everyday classroom.
Great.
Thank you very much to you all.
Right. Well, I guess there's so much more tomorrow, so don't be late. Stay safe. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
See you.
Bye. That was
Bye.
terrific,
Thank you.
terrific, terrific. See you soon. Fantastic, terrific.